Hello everybody, this is Fi. I'm checking out a game called Brick Breaker. This is part of the AGDG Demo Day 24, and we're going to give this a playtest, see if it gives some useful feedback. I have not played this before. I've not seen anything of this before. On the game page, it simply mentioned that it is this developer's first game, so that should be interesting. It did look like it was, I'm assuming, something in the kind of in the spirit of Arkanoid and those kinds of classic games, but we're going to find out. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So I've not seen anything past the screen. It might look a little blurry. It is a windowed game. I don't know if there's, looks like the options doesn't exist right now. So perhaps we could try Alt-Enter. Doesn't look like there's a full screen mode. That's okay. Let's click on About Controls. This game's not finished yet. It's just a demo for HDG. There's nothing fancy in the game. There's no sounds, name, and most of the stuff will be changed in the final game. But thanks for playing it. I hope you like it. Post my progress on Twitter. Also, special thanks to people who made Juice It or Lose It video. Recipe for add more balls, and R for reset. Escape for back to level select screen. Alright. So yeah, if you want to follow that developer, you can see that right there. I did notice when you run the file, it does like a little opening screen thing, which I didn't capture, but it just kind of shows the title for a second, but it actually steals your mouse, so you can't use the mouse at all for like 3 or 4 seconds. So I find pretty annoying. I don't really see any purpose to that, and it also means that, like, I don't know, it's just one of those things that you probably shouldn't do because you can't, like, do anything else in Windows or anything for like those few seconds, so it just kind of feels bad in my opinion. But we're gonna go ahead and click on play. Let's see what we can do. Let's start with level 1, I suppose. And it looks like this is mouse controlled. So it does look, it looks like you can actually move off the screen here. So it's actually like the absolute position of the mouse, horizontally, apparently. Oh, maybe not. No, okay, so, okay. So it uses the mouse X, but like you can keep going like way off, not only off the game screen here, but you can keep going like off your physical screen. If I like keep going to the left with my mouse and like picking it up and going left and left, I have to go like an equal amount back to the right, so it takes like forever for me to get the thing back on the screen here. So definitely be worth adding some kind of a limit there, so you don't end up, you know, losing where the heck your mouse went. But I guess we're just gonna click probably, then it's gonna start playing. Okay, we got some flashiness, so that's kind of neat. The way the little ball thing here flashes. It's pretty fast pace actually, at least so far. Also seems there's no actual like limit to the speed. It's just all based on the mouse here. It seems like I might be like for the very beginning and like the level 1 or whatever. What does this do? Oh, we get more balls. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty fast. So it might make sense to start out with a little bit slower speed, because these are pretty fast for like just starting out the game here. Oh gosh. And yeah, it's hard with the multiples, but that's kind of the nature of the thing. And yeah, actually, like controlling the direction of the bounce is really challenging. The paddle is pretty small, and again with the speed, because it does clearly control based on like the position you hit it, but just the speed that everything's going, it's very hard to kind of do that accurately, I think. So that's something to consider. I don't know how much that'll affect the gameplay, because, oh, I missed that. Generally, when you have that sort of feature, it's like a thing that you want to make use of, kind of, but I mean, I guess you can in this particular situation, just because there's so much distance back and forth and the fact that I'm only doing one of them, I can kind of manage that. Just look a little weird in my opinion how there's these little kind of drop shadows. Just kind of visually makes the, oh, I couldn't get either of those. Makes the position of the ball look a little weird because the shadow's almost as dark as the ball itself. In my opinion, it almost makes it like a little bit of a blurry effect. So level completed. I guess I click, or I just wait for this to go and... Oh, I'm just gonna keep going. So I guess I have to do, what is it, R? R is to restart the level. Is it escape then? It's back to... Interesting transitions there. So I guess we just have to manually select the next level in the current state of the game. Got a different setup here. Does look pretty touchy too for like controlling the angle of it. You have to get it like right in the middle if you want it to go straight up. Oh gosh. And I think, I'm not sure how the excuse me, how the collision works exactly, like with, if you like hit the side of it with the paddle or something. Like, I don't know if you really need to hit it right on the top or something. It looks like you can kind of, I don't know, it's too fast paced to really test it out, but it looks like I can kind of hit it on the side a little bit. Just trying to, I can't seem to do it for some reason. I'm late here. See, that time it looked like I was kind of inside of it, and I think the ball flashed, but it didn't bounce upwards. So I think it's wanting to hit the top part of the paddle. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat for some reason. Which, I mean, that's fine, obviously. I think I might prefer it if it was slightly more forgiving in that aspect, where you could kind of, if you were just slightly later, but you still kind of hit the ball with the paddle, like maybe the back part of the paddle while the ball was going by, that it would still bounce upwards. Because it's nice for that sort of thing to be a little bit forgiving sometimes, especially because it's so fast paced. I don't know if there's any jumping that can happen with the movement here. I'd be curious about that. It's very hard to test, I think. I can try to, but yeah, see, that's like impossible to tell. That it very well could be. So if it's not obvious what I'm talking about, like if you move very quickly, you kind of have these gaps. You can kind of visually see it. Kind of have these gaps in the movement where it might not be detecting the collision between those, so that can be a problem for sure in this kind of game, because it is so quick and the speed of the paddle is unbound. So if that isn't accounted for, that's a thing worth doing. You have to kind of calculate in the between positions there when you're moving that quickly. So makes things a little more complicated, but it's kind of stuff you gotta account for. I have noticed it's a little bit a bit of a juicy game. There's some visual flair here, which kind of explains the mentioning of that video about game juice. So yeah, in this kind of thing, it's hard to get in those corners, but it's just kind of part of the game, I guess. Oh, I managed to get that. Yeah, that's hard. All right, I should have just gone for one of them instead of both. But it's always kind of a slightly annoying part of these games is when you have this kind of case where you just have to like hit the last one or two of them, and it's just really hard to actually get it that accurate to hit the darn thing, and then you end up just kind of in this state for a long time, not doing anything interesting. So that would be a thing. I'd wonder if there's like some kind of solution to that. Something to just make that less annoying. It's not anything I've seen before in one of these games, but it'd be something I think would be interesting to think about. So I think we have to hit the escape key. Oh, we got a little bit of a crash here. This application has requested the runtime to terminate it in an unusual way. Please contact the application support team for more information. So yeah, that was a little crash there. I guess we're going to have to relaunch the game here. All I did was hit the escape key there, so I'm not sure what happened with that. Oh, it's not showing. It's not showing the name of the game. It's showing the developer name in that part where you can't move the mouse. I don't know if that captured. I don't think that showed up in the capture, but let's go ahead and start our level 3 here. See how this goes. All right. So as always, it's advantageous if you can get it up in the top part there, so it just kind of bounces back and forth without you having to. Oh crap! It would probably be nice if there's a bit of a if it just kind of stopped on the edge of the wall here instead of going past it. Just for some cases, you just kind of want to throw it all the way to the edge, but you can overshoot it in this case, so it might just be a nice thing to have that for that case. Nothing else. That's unfortunate. I mean, I could have gotten the P2 and let this one die, I guess, but either way. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much else to it so far. It seems very functional. It's got some little bit of visual flair and definitely the good sort of thing to start out with for your first game. I think just about everyone. Oh shoot! I think just about everyone tries to do something a lot more complex when they're starting out, and it's a quick path to failure doing that sort of thing. So it's definitely cool. I'm interested what else the developer might have in mind, if they have any more features they plan to add. So as mentioned, it's not finished. Yay, alright, let's hit the escape key, hope it doesn't crash. Try level 4. We got a nice little heart. That was weird. I guess there's some particle effects on hitting the side there. Curious if there's any gamepad support, or if it's only mouse so far. Probably a lot easier with the mouse anyways, because it's unbound movement speed, but for the gamepad controls for this sort of game, if you do add those, which you probably should, even if, if nothing else, just for practice, but you know, sometimes people just prefer that. Something that's a good idea. I mean, you can use like the analog, I guess, but something that tends to work well is if you have like digital movement controls. Just have like a button that you can hold down as a modifier to do like fast speed for the movement. So that usually works well. So you can get like your controlled movement, and then when you have to move it really fast, you just use the button for a second, and then it zips over and that sort of thing. So it seems to be kind of random where the power-ups are, I guess. I don't know if maybe it's actually random. All right, I think that's the last one. Just a big old block. Oh, whoops. That was weird. That was a case where probably if it was kind of like what I suggested before, where you could kind of hit it with the back of the paddle, be a little more forgiving, then that might have worked. Hit it up. Oh, that works well. Okay. Whoa, that's weird. It's cool how apparently the blocks that you hit can also change the angle if they hit like the corner of the block. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I think that usually doesn't work that way, but I mean in these sorts of games. That's kind of neat. I wasn't I was watching the thing up at the top. I wasn't trying to get the power-ups there. You know what I think might be neat is if you could get like some kind of it's kind of silly, but if there's some kind of like a combo system where every time you bust a block without hitting it with your paddle, if it like increased like a combo multiplier or something, that would be cool. I don't know if that's been done before or not. So it's always kind of satisfying when you get it up there and it starts just bouncing around. So adding that sort of thing might just kind of multiply the satisfaction. Right, this part's taking a while. Oh, left. There we go. All right, so I think we've completed the game here. Does the lives? Maybe the lives counter doesn't drop because I already completed it. All right, well, I think that's going to be the last level. So I guess we completed the whole game. Yeah, obviously very simple, very straightforward, but I didn't see any major bugs or anything. Biggest thing is probably just that limitation of, being able to go way off the sides, and also maybe I don't know if it accounts for the skipping when you move the mouse very fast. So yeah, hopefully there's some useful feedback in there for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.